So I was trying to think of a video topic to do to break up the kind of brain rot that I've been giving you guys lately because it's been so many first impressions and full reviews of brand new releases. And I was like, I need to break that up by doing other videos and kind of putting them in the middle so it's not too much. And so what did I do? I was like, hey, it was snowing a couple days ago. Then it was 68 degrees. Now it's 72. So that means that spring is on the way. And so when you think of spring and you think of fragrances or you think of just spring in general, what do you think of? Green. The color green, because of the green grass, green fragrances, whatever it might be. And so I decided to put together a list of 10 of my favorite green fragrances, as well as kind of like two aforementioned ones. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. 10 great green fragrances I think you should try coming up this spring. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back at you with another, I guess you could call it a list video, where I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite green fragrances for men coming up for this spring. Because when you think of spring and you think of fragrances to wear, it's usually clean and green. That's the best way to go with it. And I've really been building upon my green fragrance collection lately. I think 2 years ago I had two. And now, I mean, like, because I wasn't really collecting them that much. And I figured out that green fragrances are, like, turning out to be some of my favorites. So I can actually thank, what was the one? Amouage Beach Hut Man for being one of the first, like, niche green fragrances that I tried that really got me rocking with green fragrances. But anyway, I digress. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also hit that like, comment below. Let me know some of your favorite green fragrances going into the spring. And we're going to get right into this. Again, with the two, I guess you would call them runner-up fragrances, even though this isn't a top 10 list technically. It's more of just like a 10 fragrances that are my favorite, even though I'll probably label it as top 10. So anyway, I already put another Xerjoff on this list for later, so I'm not putting this one on there, but it is very good. This is Xerjoff Nio. It's actually very well priced right now on Venba. It's like $138 or $128 or something like that. But if you're looking for a clean, green, spicy, woody fragrance that has a nice, beautiful citrus in the opening, this is going to be that type of fragrance. You're going to get just a bunch of herbs. You're going to get some spices. You're going to get those woods. And then again, just a nice brightness in the opening from the citrus. It's a very, very nice fragrance. And then the other one, speaking of bright and bold citrus, Boss Bottled Bold Citrus. The only reason I didn't put it on this list, technically, is because of the dry down. This one opens up, and it's one of the better spring designer releases I've ever smelled in the first hour to hour and a half. That brightness, not the brightness, the boldness of the citrus, I keep saying bright. The boldness of the citrus is well placed with the name because of how really in your face that citrus is, along with these nice green tones, a little bit of sweetness and patchouli, carrying over from the last few bottles with the patchouli. And then once it gets to the dry down, it gets light, and it's like, I'd say an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer in. It gets lighter on your skin, and then it just becomes very basic. The citrus all but washes away, and then you're just kind of left with patchouli and just a little bit of spice and musk, and it just kind of doesn't know where it's going. It still smells nice, but that opening is just so amazing. In my opinion, I love the citrus in the opening. I love the green tones mixed with the citrus. I love that little bit of sweet patchouli underneath it. It's just when it gets to the dry down, it doesn't have that anymore. It reminds me of Boss Bottled Marine Limited Edition, how it was such a good opening. And then the dry down was just average. And that's what this one is too. But that's Boss Bottled Bold Citrus. But now to get into the actual list. There is no order here. I've told you guys before, this is one of my wife's favorite fragrances. This is Polo Cologne Intense. You can get this for like 30 bucks, 40 bucks. Stuff smells so freaking good. It is mint It is herbaceous. It has a little bit of citrus. It has some sweetness in there. When you get to the dry down, a little bit of woods. It's not the best performer, but when it comes to smelling great, smelling clean, smelling just absolutely amazing. My wife said that this is a huge turn on. I've also heard that from a couple other people before, that this is a really good smelling scent that they wanted their husbands or boyfriends to buy. With that said, you guys need to try this out. It does have a little bit of a vintagey vibe because it's like a slight throwback to the original Polo Green, which don't get this confused. This is not Polo Green. This is Polo Cologne Intense. It still has the herbaceous tones of that, but then it kind of modernizes that a bit while still having a bit of that vintagey vibe. But I really love it. Again, woody, but then has a bunch of green tones mashed into one, with mint being the most prominent tone on top, and then you get some citrus mixed together with it. But that's very, very, very nice. Going to the next one, if you want a nice tea scent, I actually like this better than the X version. This is Nishane's Wulong Cha. Nishane Wulong Cha has, Wulong, it's oolong tea, mixed together with a nice citrus. There's a citrus medley, but it's really focusing more on this kind of like orange mixed together with a bit of fig. It is unisex for sure. And some people find it leaning feminine. I don't. I find it right in the middle. If you're looking for a beautiful oolong tea scent that has a nice fruity fig and some citrus mixed together, look no further than this. It has a little bit of a green grassy tone in the background. And now that I'm thinking about it, I could have also done like 6 Banana Republic fragrances. Linen Vetiver. Okay, if you're looking for a $20 green fragrance that's high quality, Banana Republic, Linen Vetiver, or Vintage Green, those 2 fragrances, and there's also one more, I can't think of the name. They are just amazing. Go to Burlington and try to find them. They are absolutely amazing. They should have been on this list. I wasn't thinking about them until right now. But Wulong Cha, they smell similar to that, just with more of a green grassy tone. That's what reminded me of it. Speaking of another green, this was released last year. It is a designer fragrance that you can find in the mid-40s again. This is Coach for Men Green. And this is one that has kiwi as its main note, but to me it comes across more green apple-ish. A lot of people say it smells like Greenley. It does not. Greenley is more masculine, more soapy, while this one still has that soapiness. This smells like literally if you just took Coach for Men's style DNA and just amped up the apple and kiwi and made this like green apple top. That's what this one really, it just very beautiful. But just like Coach for Men, it's a running errand scent. It's not one that you're going to get great performance on. You're going to get a few hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and then it's going to be very soft on your skin. But soapy nuances underneath that beautiful green apple kiwi mix that does stay for almost a lifetime of the fragrance. But when you get to the dry down, it does become a little bit more prominent on the woods. But fantastic fragrance. Very, very, very good. I can't do a green fragrance without mentioning this, which isn't like overly green, but I don't really give a shit. This is Lacoste Blanc Eau Fraiche. Just bought a new bottle. You can get it for $23 for a tester with cap. But this is one of the most unique designer fragrances ever released. It's because of the uniqueness of the green and the ginger, which some people say that they don't really get that much ginger. It comes off to me like a watery ginger snap, like almost like the ginger that you get on the side, pickled ginger on the side of sushi. Very watery. This is airy, aldehydic, and then you mix that together with a beautiful citrus and ambroxan mixture. It's just like I've said before. It's like if you have a basket full of citrus walking through the woods on a windy day. That's exactly what this reminds me of. It's airy, it's light, it's bright, it's just absolutely beautiful, while having that pickled ginger and green tones just wrapped around the fragrance. That's Lacoste Blanc Eau Fraiche. Now we're going to get into some real heavy hitters, well, at least in my opinion, and some unique ones. This one is a love-hate. You have to really like a lot of mint. This is Xerjoff Torino 21. You can't do a green fragrance without doing this. it's a blue fragrance with a green fragrance wrapped around it. Somebody was like the other day, that's a green fragrance. Yeah, I know it is, but it's also a blue fragrance underneath because you still get the aromatics and you still get the spice, still get the woods. That's a blue fragrance wrapped around by like a crap ton of mint and a little bit of an herbaceousness. And that's what the fragrance is in a nutshell. It's a crap ton of mint. And so if you need to like mint, when I first got this in, I was like, what is everybody talking about? 2 wears later, 3 wears later. This is a compliment puller, or at least an attention grabber, I should say. Anytime I wear this, somebody's like, what is it that you're wearing? I've never smelled anything like it. I don't know if they're complimenting me or what, but it's an attention grabber. And I love the smell, so I don't really give a crap. But outside of spring, I mean, you can wear it in the summer if you want, but it's a spring fragrance. And then going into this one, this is, again, another love-hate fragrance. Some people either really like it or they just don't care too much about it. This is Zaharoff Seraphim Blue. Seraphim Blue is a eucalyptus-based fragrance, so it's another one of those green fragrances wrapped around a blue fragrance. It's funny that I did a green fragrance wrapped around a blue fragrance 2 times in a row. But this still has that Zaharoff style DNA, so it's still going to be, and I've said this already when I did my review, this is for the 40-year-old plus male. You don't want to wear it when you're younger. So if you're watching this video and you're under 40 years old, unless like you're really deep into fragrances, this isn't probably one that you want to get. But it's a masterclass of eucalyptus. And if you do want a more wearable version of this, like even though this is super wearable in my opinion, the Seraphim Red is a little bit more playful with the pink pepper. That's probably more your style. But Seraphim Blue, it's eucalyptus. It has, again, some aromatic tones underneath it, and then it has that powdery masculine soapiness that you get from a lot of the Zaharoffs, just wrapped around that by eucalyptus, which this is a minty eucalyptus. So very beautiful scent. Very, very beautiful. And then I think I'm going to save my 2 favorites for last. This one came in last year. It's just phenomenal. If you like Wulong Cha, but you want it to be a little bit more masculine or you wanted more citrus based, this is what you get. It's Kieran Sunday Brunch. Kieran Sunday Brunch. I bought this off a subscriber, I think. Literally has that tea. It's a tea based fragrance, but instead of having fig and the mandarin orange and stuff like you get from Nishane's Wulong Cha, you get a citrus salad on top of that tea. And then you also get a good bit of musk underneath it. But if you're looking for Nishane's Wulong Cha without the fig and then added citrus, just brighter, more citrus, a little bit more tart and zest, that's what you're getting with Kieran Sunday Brunch, and I love this stuff. It's about 5 hours for performance, but it's a lighter scent after the first hour. But, I mean, this type of scent with the heavy citruses, you're not going to really care too much about that. But Kieran Sunday Brunch, if you haven't tried it, I would at least recommend getting a decant from them. And then this one is a new one. A brand new fragrance. If you like YSL Y and you're looking for the spring version of it, I've already said that. It is YSL Y le Parfum 2025. Doesn't really smell like the YSL Y le Parfum, the original. So if you like that one better, or if you like that one, go get another bottle because that's the night out version. This is not the night out version. This does still smell like a Y, but it's the kind of like YEDP Intense, dialed down the sweetness. This dials down the sweetness and amps up the green tones. You still get a little bit of that citrus opening. You get the aromatics, the clary sage, geranium mixture. You get that Y DNA. It's there. It's just you're not getting the heavy apple or the tonka and amber woods and the dry down. Like you're not getting a bunch of that. But you still do get a bit of an amber woody tone in the dry down. So really to put this plain is it reminds me of if you had a more citrus heavy, much, much, much less sweet opening of the YSL Y EDP. And then you just tone down the sweetness. And then in the dry down, it just in the whole fragrance, it was wrapped around by just like this nice green semi-coniferous tone. And then the dry down adds in a little bit of amberwood, but the sweetness is abated. It's a more masculine version of the Y line, just a little bit green. It's great for spring. It's the spring version of the line. Then going in, which one should have been my last one? I'll save that for my last. It always is last, so I'm going to keep it for last every year. If you go back the last 3 years, I always kept that one last. This one is Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill. Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill. I'm so far into my bottle already. I got this last year in September. It has this beautiful, like, apricot mintiness, like peach and apricot mixed together with some mint. Fruity, minty, green. This stuff is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I have to wear it today. I was wearing Kieran Sunday Brunch, but again, it's a 4 to 5 hour fragrance, and I sprayed it on 4 hours ago, so let's get one on the back, one on the shirt, one on the arm, another one on the back, one on the head. I love this stuff. Oh, God. I didn't get one on my left arm, my right arm, so I'll do that in a second. But, yeah, Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill is the best Louis Vuitton. I like Imagination. I love L'Immensité. Afternoon Swim's great, but there's so many things out there that smell like it that I don't buy a bottle. But this is the best one, in my opinion. It's unisex for sure, but I don't really care. It smells absolutely phenomenal. And then going on the last one. If you could buy this, you could also buy Lolita Lempika Green Lover. Both of them are very similar, except for that one is more of an orange creamsicle, while this one is more of a bourbon creamsicle, bourbon minty creamsicle. This is St. Julep by Imaginary Authors. St. Julep, like I just said, I'll just read you the notes. It's on the back. Sweet mint, tangerine, southern magnolia, bourbon, grisolva, and then their 2 fake notes are sugar cube and crushed ice. Literally smells like you're walking into a sugared mint field, just like sweet mint. It smells like sugared mint with a little bit of this bourbon, a little bit of the citrus, and that's what it is. It's a fantastic fragrance. I told you guys, performance on this, just like Sunday Brunch, is like 4 to 5 hours, but nothing beats this shit. I love it, and even if you don't, I don't give a shit. I love this stuff. I know so many people like it, and I know this is like the crowd favorite from Imaginary Authors, so if there was one fragrance to try from Imaginary Authors and you're okay with mint, even if you're not okay with mint, this way that this is just like a sweet sugared mint, it does change your opinion. But that's my favorite green fragrance, always has been, for the last like 4 years at least. But anyway, that is St. Julep by Imaginary Authors. Let me know some of your favorite green scents, but we're going into spring. Those are some good ones, so if you need any other tips, I'm going to do some more spring videos coming up, but I still have Rosassi Hawas. I have a couple other ones like Dolce & Gabbana Devotion, and hopefully we don't get a ton of new releases after that, so that I can get back to doing some normal content instead of just full review, first impression. But anyway, can't keep you here any longer. You guys have a great day. Thanks so much for joining. Peace out.